John's course is exquisite. It is professional. It is unique. It's extraordinary. And I say, please go for it. I use this opportunity to sincerely thank John for what he's doing with that program.
Material and the learning that comes from John Kinyon's course is that it really can take these challenging and sometimes complex dynamics out there in the world and give people really, really potent and powerful tools where they can have a sense of competence and skill and effectiveness and use them and really improve the quality of their relationships at levels that they never thought were possible.
John's classes, I've taken at least 3 of them, I can remember right now, year-long programs. It's deepened my ability to be more present, to myself, other people, have better communications.
It's not only about the skills John teaches, but also his attitude, how to treat people. I see that deep care not only from him towards his participants, but also towards each person, even strangers. He always reminds us to be sensitive towards others' needs. And that's really touched my heart.
It's really interesting, the link between NVC and this course. For me, learning NVC, I learned it the first time many years ago. It's almost like 20 years ago. And yes, the OFNR, the relevancy of that and how it gives us a structure and a foundation. What I feel, though, is that Mediate Your Life takes that to the place where I prefer to go with NVC, which is really focusing on what is the expression really about for someone? So the deeper connecting, not necessarily always using the structure, but really listening with a resonance from my heart to what's really important for this person. And I think in mediation, whether it's our own mediation internally or with others, when we really bring that sort of self-empathy and compassion in, there's something that goes beyond just the structure of NVC into maybe what Marshall had intended anyway, which is really how do we mediate the internal and external worlds with so much care, with what's really important. Yeah.
Learned NVC before, but what happens is this is really advanced level NVC practice here, where you're learning these very specific practices that really help human beings disentangle complex, what we would call intrapersonal dynamics.
This was a very valuable expenditure of time, of money, of my effort. It has boosted my growth. So anybody who's looking for personal growth, anyone who's looking for a way to really bring value into the world and to help be a part of the changes that they want to see in the world, I believe this is absolutely a key piece.
I happen to be a beneficiary of John's course. I've attended it twice, and each time I came out different. There's always something different that you come out with from the program. And I would recommend that program for anyone, anytime, anywhere. Because part of the problem we have in this world, there are a lot of conflicts in our world today, conflict violence, and that's because often we don't take time to listen to one another. We don't take time to go inwards to get some clarity for ourselves before we come out to share. Rather, we speak on the spur of the moment, and that's how problems escalate. But John will teach you the maps to use at any time, and I find it very helpful. It couldn't be better. He's put in a lot in drafting that program, and so I say thumbs up, John.
And I can say conclusively that having taken the course, it was better than I could have hoped for. I was thinking it was going to be really good, and it was better than that. And it has absolutely profoundly changed the way I do my work in my field. And it's also affected my personal life and shaped a lot of my views and ways in which I interact with other people who have a lot of meaning to me in my life.
Last thing I will share about John that I'm really wanting people to know is how generous he is in terms of his time and his energy, and how he offers so much above and beyond across the aisle, healing reconciliation practice on a weekly basis. Like, he offers so many ways into the world that people can experience his holding of space, his work. in a live way, where they can practice and they can be really connected to, I feel like it's a huge contribution he's making. So to me, he walks his talk very much so, and is very generous.
The course was life transforming. It was life transforming, professionally and personally. And I know that much of what I learned is now part of who I am. It's part of how I operate. It's part of how I function within myself and in relationships. And I'm looking forward to continuing to practice and cultivate that for the rest of my life. And that's a fact. I didn't know I was going to say that before I took the course, but I'm saying it now and I'm meaning it now.